Okay, so we're here in the closet, and I want to run through you kind of what everything is going on here. So let me start pointing out some cables just so you understand what we're looking at here, right? So these two cables that are right here go back to the TV in the living room and the entertainment center below it. This cable right here is the one that comes down from the antenna, and we're bringing it into this splitter right down here. Let me lower the camera just a second so it's a little bit easier for you to see. Okay, so we're bringing it into this splitter. And this is basically a three-way splitter. It's weatherproof for outdoor use, but obviously we're using it indoors, so I have no issues. It's going to hold up just fine. It's designed for antenna installations, but it can also be compatible with cable TV signals. So if you need a really good splitter, that will work well. It allows DC power to pass through any of the ports from the preamplifier. So as this amplified signal comes down, it's not just passing that the signal that's coming through, it's passing the DC amplified signal. So the power is able to come through here. Some of the ones that are on the market don't actually pass that higher power and will block it. So it would basically terminate here, and then you would just get the cable or the antenna signal that comes through to the distribution blocks. But this one does pass power. It's not that expensive either. But regular splitters that are sold online and one used by cable TV companies are typically not power passing and will block the power, as I just said. From there, we go out to two different distribution signal amplifiers. So they're ground, each port on this is grounded up to 6 kilovolts or 3 kiloamps surge suppression. So let's say there was some kind of surge that came through here, it would actually block that surge before it goes out to the TV and keep everything from frying. So we've got everything grounded up top. We've got the lightning surge suppressor, and then each one of these is also hooked up to the grounding cable. So this grounding cable is actually separate from the antenna grounding cable upstairs. As I said, the chances of getting a lightning strike through the roof are fairly low. But if that did happen, I wanted it to pass straight outside and bypass anything that's in this cabinet. So that's why there's a second grounding wire in here. This basically works with all antennas. So even if you don't have a channel master antenna, it'll work with it. It'll also work with cable signals. So let's say you have a really long run to a TV that's in your house that's hooked up to regular cable. You can actually hook it up to this. This is a 8-port. They make 2, 4, and 8 ports. So if you don't need all 8 ports, you could actually use 2 ports or 4 ports, depending. And the signal loss as it goes through here is only less than 2 decibels. Now, someone's going to call me out because I could actually put a port terminator here and on these. But as we see in a minute when we look at the TV, I'm going to run you through how many channels, and you can see for yourself the quality of TV that I'm getting and that sort of thing. So I don't really need it in the application. It may actually help a little bit, but with me actually going to be using these for when we build out the second floor, I'm not going to go ahead and put port terminators on there. I may actually come and put a port terminator on there on this one, since I'm not using it as of right now. I got the 3 port just in case I ever needed to expand and put something else on it, but I don't think I do. Now, let's look at the other things. We got 2 cables coming out here that are running back toward the network cabinet, and then another one right here. So what these two are is, these are actually how it's powered. So it's got a brick that it plugs into that's on the power strip, and it sends power through these. As you can see, it's plugged into here. That's why we got the green light, and up here. Now this one is actually kind of the interesting one. This is distribution out, so it comes out from the antenna. I got all the over-the-air signal that's coming through here. So let me take a second and show you what that's actually plugged into. So okay, so move the camera up, and it's a little bit easier to see into the cabinet. And it looks a little janky because I've got it setting up here just so you guys can see how it's plugged in, but I've got the cable coming in from the OTA antenna distribution block, and here we have a Cat 6A cable, and then right below it is the power supply. So what this is a SiliconDust Flex 4K ATSC Gen 3. So what this does is that it takes the over-the-air cable and then it converts it into a network signal. So basically, this is a media converter, right? It is basically zero configuration. You just plug it in and then plug it into your network. And what I've done is I've got, and I'm going to go into this further in more detail in the next video, but this is my network area storage. It's a Synology NAS. And on this, I'm running a PLEX media server. So once you get this hooked up, you go into Plex and then you have it look for this and it'll find this fairly easily. I didn't really have to configure anything. And then it brings all that over the air signal. So basically I can get on my phone if I'm at the airport, or I can watch it on my TV, but I can basically pull up all my OTA antenna signals and watch it through the Plex media server. It's actually really convenient. So if I want to catch local news and I'm traveling, I just open my Plex app and it's golden. So it's really cool. You can set it up so you can record on Windows, Mac, or Linux, as well as a bunch of different types of NASs. It definitely works on Synology. It works on Plex Media Server. There's some other things out there. So if you ever travel a lot and you want to keep up with home, or let's say you're at the airport and you want to watch something on ABC, like, you know, you got some sports coming up or something that you just definitely have to watch, and you can do it right from your phone, right from your TV. So it actually, if you set it up independently on your phone, not through Plex or not through some kind of media server, they actually have their own application where you can pause and record and you can watch and that sort of thing through their own application. But again, I'm using my Plex. This is basically designed for the US and will work in the US and other regions that use ATSC. So if you have PAL, you may have to get a different version. So I'd check with them. But so that is my whole over-the-air antenna. Now let's go to the TV and we're going to do a channel scan, and you can see how many channels I'm getting. And then I'll give you an example of what it looks like as far as the quality of the signal I'm getting. Well, the quality is as good as I can get from the TV into the camera. So, but there you go. That is my OTA antenna setup. Okay, so here at the TV, let's scan for channels and see how much we're picking up. I'm doing it over the air. I'm not obviously doing cable. You can do both. I'm not sure why you would, but there you go. But let's start scanning and see what we got. So it scanned the standard definition, which is going out of service, but now it's into scanning for digital. And we already have 14 digital at 58%, 22, 36, 37, 46. $50, $54, $59 channels. Okay, let's close and let's go to the guide and see what we're actually picking up. This is the local news station, so that kind of gives you an idea of the definition I'm getting. It looks really good to me.
Possibility of an increased chance for storms, 30% on Saturday, 40% on Sunday, and with the big heat, some of these storms...
Sounds fine, not glitchy at all. So again, let's go to the guide. And we got WRAL, which is my local CBS news station. Me TV, Stars TV, Heroes, Oxygen, Circle, Rewind, which is reruns, Escape, Comet, Stadium. So if you like sports, it's going to take the guide to a minute or two to pick up on the signal that's coming in to populate the show list. But UNC TV, which is our local PBS and our local North Carolina station. Rudel, so if you got kids, there you go. We're picking up another North Carolina broadcast channel, which broadcasts BBS World News America and BBS News or BBC News in Context. So I like watching that. Stadium. So if you really like sports, so there's some sports on there. Another Riddle and PBS. So we've picked up again multiple channels for PBS and Riddle and UNC, because remember the antenna I've got is facing 190 degrees. So I'm picking up TV stations that are, or TV towers that are west of us, and then some that are southwest of us. So that's why there's a couple of repeats, but that doesn't bother me a bit. Revival. So, I'm not really super religious myself, but if you're into that, that's fine. Ion, I watch some of that. Court TV, Grit, Laugh if you like comedy or westerns. Scripts, Jewelry, HSN, and QVC. Again, not my thing, but hey, if you like it, there you go. Me TV, again, some of these are, again, standard definition, and it's demarked by whether or not it says HD right there. And then this is picking up some digital channels that come in through the TV system. So 54.1, but the way digital works versus the old station is you got 50.1, 50.2, 50.3. They're on sub channels. So again, 59 channels. That's awesome. Anyway, that is my over-the-air TV antenna setup. Hope you enjoyed. In our next episode, I'm going to go through everything that's been done in the network closet, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.